Okay, welcome back, and this time what we're going to be doing is looking at how to use the basic tools to start off with. First thing we're going to do is use the shape tool, so we're going to click on the shape tool here, which is a rectangle tool. Now, when you're using this tool, there's a couple of things you need to know to start off with. Firstly, you can change the outside color, which is your stroke, and you can also change the size of it here as well. And you can also change the fill, so there's a couple of different things you can do there. With the styles that you have, if you want to have a solid line, you can do that. You can have a hairline, so it's quite thin. You can have dashed, or you can change any of the lines that you have there. And also what you can do is you've got a couple of things with changing the scale. You can change the actual join, the capping, and those types of things there. But to start off with, simply what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can make some changes very quickly. So the first thing is clicking on the shape tool, just drag out a box, and there you are. Now that you've got that, there's a couple of things you can do to it. If you decide that you don't like this color anymore, so you can click on the fill area there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom right in so you can actually see what's happening there. And I'll zoom in a bit more. You'll see as I'm zooming in, what's happening is you've got this, looks like almost a crosshatch type look to it. Now I'll use my selection tool again, I'll click outside. When I click in there, you can see that it looks like it's actually got this crosshatch. That means it's selected. Once that's selected, I can either change the color here. You can see the colors changing there. Okay, or if I want to, I can click on the fill color here and get my swatches and change them from there. I can go to my swatches up here as well, or I can just double click just in here as well, and you'll see here's my swatches coming up as well. So you've got a lot of different changes that you can do at different places you can change it. If I click on here, I now have a different area to go through. I can move along here and say I think I want a bluish color about there, and then I'll just change the color from here. So I can either make it lighter or darker just by moving up and down here. So there's a couple of different ways you can change what you're actually looking at. Now click back on fit in window so you can see the whole thing. Now I've changed the color on the outside. What about the color, sorry, the color on the inside? What about the color on the outside? Now if I double click on that, you can see now it's actually selected that area there. If I click once, it only select one of these lines. If I double click on that line, it selects all of them. Now I haven't selected the inside here, so I can change the color as I please. So I'll make this just a grey color. You can see that's changed. Now I want to go back, I want to change the size of it. So you can see I can change the size here. So it's a couple of different ways you can go through and you can make changes to your shapes and your colors very quickly. Now one of the things that we haven't had a chance to look at is anything in Flash can be changed very easily. So if I want to put a bit of a curve on here, see I can move the curve out. So just by getting close to the line, you can see I've got that little arc underneath my arrow. That's now changed this. So I can now go through, do the same thing over here. You can see I can change this relatively quickly, like so. Okay, and when you get to a corner, you can see there's a corner there. I can go through and move those around. So very quickly you can go through and you can change any of these things relatively quickly just by moving them around. Okay, so that's the first thing. So I'll do another quick shape. So you've got your normal shapes. If you click and left hand mouse click, you can see you've got your oval tool, etc., rectangle tool, but you notice you don't have a triangle. Triangles are really easy. Use a rectangle. Okay, so start off with that. What I like to do is get my selection tool, drag this down to there, there's your triangle. Okay, triangle's not in the right place. Click on your free transform tool here. See when I move to a corner, it allows me to rotate around. Okay, so that's a way of creating several different shapes very quickly. So you can see with your oval tool. Okay, if you want to change, the polystar tool is an interesting one because what you need to do is go to your options here. So if you want a polygon with however many sides you want, so you might say 7. Okay, there you are. Go to the same tool again. This time I'll actually change it to a star, and I'll make it a 10-pointed star. And there you go. And as I've got the star, you can see I can rotate around to how I want it to look, like so. So there you go. And with that, whilst that's still selected, I'll bring the stroke back down. Use the selection tool. make your changes very quickly. And again, on the inside of it, okay, we'll make it a bit more of a golden colour. So there you go. That's how you can make your simple shapes very, very quickly in Flash.